So, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Can you tell us about what you just said and summarize it first off?
I spoke about the need for freedom of speech, and that I totally admire the U.S. Constitution, especially its First Amendment guaranteeing freedom of speech. And I believe that we in Europe are in sore need of the provisions of the First Amendment, because our freedom to speak is being taken away from us, especially recently with this framework decision combating xenophobia and racism. And the main problem of this framework decision by the EU is that racism is not defined. So, you know, knowing what has been going on in Europe with Geert Wilders and me and Jussi Halla-aho, you can assume that this framework decision is going to target those who criticize Islam.
Okay. Now, what do you think of what's happening right now here in Paris? Have you ever seen this before? Or?
No, I haven't. I'm absolutely amazed at this crowd. I have never seen a crowd this big anywhere, and I've spoken in quite a few places. And I can tell you I'm extremely proud of the Parisians sitting here, and especially because they are so brave to come here and listen to important points being made. What they need is also, they need to be educated, and that's what they're getting here. And a crowd this big is just amazing, and I'm very proud of you guys here.
And do you think there can be a unification of European movements against Islamization of Europe?
In the long run, yes, I hope so. On the other hand, it's debatable whether or not separate movements might even be strengthening the entire movement. Because I think that one of the strong points of our movement is that we are decentralized. And we don't really have a figurehead, because there are many figureheads. So if one is targeted and silenced, the other one can continue the job. So, for instance, if I'm actually silenced in January because I lose my court case, well, then there are many others who will step up and do what I'm doing. So perhaps but that's my personal opinion. Perhaps it's not even that good if we form one movement.
Okay.
Just food for thought.
And last question, Oscar Freisinger, who was another speaker, talked about the direct democracy, and because he's having it in Switzerland, but you also have it in Germany.
No, we don't.
Partially.
In Austria.
Oh, you're from Austria.
I'm from Austria. No, we don't have that. No.
And they have it in Germany.
We very much admire. I mean, the Austrian people, not the ruling elite, but the Austrian people very much admire this process in Switzerland. Yep. But you see, this is exactly what the ruling elite is afraid of. Right. They do not want the people to decide anything, because the people will decide against what the ruling elite wants. So. In Austria, I don't think there's a chance that we will have these plebiscites or anything of that sort. You do not ask the people if you know that you're going to get a different answer.
Right, but maybe that's part of the change as well.
Yes, but we would have to change this constitution in Austria. We don't have the same tradition, so we admire it, the people admire it, but changing the constitution is very hard. It's only easy if you change it when it comes to EU matters.
Well, thank you very much, and thank you for coming to France.
Well, I'm so glad to be here. I've never been to Paris before, and like I said, I'm proud to be part of this movement. I think this is a very, very, very important movement, especially for our kids. Thank you. Thank you.